IT Expo, Los Angeles, California, 2008.
Okay, I'm with Eric Berger today for the first interview of a series I'm doing here at the TMC IT Expo in Los Angeles. Eric, it's good to see you again here back at the Expo.
Good to see you too, John.
Great, great. And as the chairman of the SIP Forum, we have a lot to talk about here. For IP Convergence TV, we're looking at those trends in the marketplace with Convergence, and obviously you're right in the middle of a lot of these things. So why don't we start talking about what you're seeing out there in this marketplace? I mean, heavy enterprise focus here at the show. You're very busy with the SIP Connect initiative. Maybe we could start there and update us a bit on what you're doing there.
Absolutely, and I have to comment that the show has historically been thought of as an enterprise show, but it's really pleasing to see that there are a number of service providers here to service the enterprises, but as well the equipment manufacturers, which used to almost always be for enterprise. We now see some of the service provider manufacturers here too. And that ties into the work that we've been doing in the SIP Forum. Had a number of sessions here and some more ongoing today on our SIP Connect initiative. Both the published SIP Connect specification, the 1.0, which basically enables enterprise equipment, IP equipment to communicate with service providers.
Yes.
And these seminars have gone from the high level, just what's SIP Connect about, all the way down to a SIP Forum session on how to get your equipment or your service SIP Connect certified. A lot of interest. Historically, the interest was mostly from manufacturers who wanted to sell SIP Connect equipment, to now the service providers are interested because they want to buy SIP Connect equipment.
Yes.
Because we're finding that enterprises are beginning to wake up and realize, hey, you know, this IP communication stuff is kind of hard, and I really have to buy it all from the same vendor to make it work. And the whole point of the SIP Connect compliant program is you buy equipment on your premise from one vendor, get a service provider that's SIP Connect compliant certified, and they're doing it from buying some SIP Connect certified equipment, that it all just works.
Sure. Well, and I guess it validates the importance of standards in this industry, as companies have to work across multiple vendors, multiple platforms. And as you say, the service providers and enterprises have to talk to each other a lot more to make all these services really work.
That's right. And we're finding it's more than just standards, because, as you know, the SIP Forum is not a standards organization. You know, we work very closely with the IETF and somewhat with the ITU, W3C. But it's because there are, as you know, we say, the great thing of standards is there's so many to choose from. It's helping narrow that down so that not only do we have the promise of standards of I can buy from multiple vendors, but we have the reality that we can actually make it all work.
Yes. Okay. Now, over the past 5-6 months, the SIP Forum's membership has grown quite a lot, and some major vendors coming on board, Microsoft, cable companies, and I think there's a lot of validation there that the value of what the SIP Forum is bringing to the marketplace is really coming through.
That's correct, and we're really pleased that the breadth of vendors, it's not, like on the service provider side, it's not only the cable companies, but we're seeing a lot of wireline operators joining, and, you know, starting with some wireless that you'll probably see coming soon. And I think it is that, you know, people are seeing the value. You know, in the early days we had a lot of members because, well, it's SIP versus H323, and then it kind of dropped off. And now it's coming back because of the ongoing initiatives like SIP Connect. But we also have some new initiatives coming on. For example, we have a fax over IP, a fax interoperability workshop that's coming up, because, again, we're finding that these technologies are all standards compliant, but they don't talk to each other.
Yes.
And so how to get it out in the real world. SIP Connect, you know, 1.0 has gotten a lot of traction, and with experience we find that, and it was always a 1.0, we knew there was more that was coming.
Yes.
For example, right now it was pretty much about how to do dial tone. And 1.1 adds even more features and capabilities, and we have on the roadmap a 2.0, which really brings in all of the rich enterprise applications. That ties in with some work that's not chartered yet, but again on the SIP Forum roadmap, dealing with unified communications applications. So we see a lot of interesting work that's coming online. Device configuration that's already started, where you just get your device, and instead of filling in 15 pages of stun servers, which, and typical customers think, oh, if I don't pay my bill, do I get stunned? So I don't want to fill that in. To where, they just plug it in, gets its configuration from the network, and they can just start making their calls. It just works.
Okay, well, that's great. We'll have to wrap up on that note. So, Eric, thanks again for stopping by and having our interview here. And we'll see you during the rest of the show.
Thank you very much, John. Absolutely.
You're welcome. Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, Eric.